Elantra! I don't know. This car is so excitable.
It
the
is
Elantra
excitable.
N, it's like, yay, I'm driving. It's so excitable.
Every time.
Yes.
You're right. It's like a reward.
Uh-huh.
Well, you got to push the N button. Is my N on?
Yeah, well,
Custom
go,
one.
Hang on, you got to go
N.
back to
There's
that.
N.
Now you got to hit it so you can make the tachometer. The tack bursts into flame, and the exhaust is now applauding. Good driving, sir. Good driving.
Great cars, great roads, and all the reasons we love to drive.
Road trips, comparisons, test drives, and podcasts. This is Everyday Driver.
The N brand, even though they have a long history of endurance racing on the Nürburgring and WRC, it still seems new to people.
Yeah.
When they say N, what all is this? What's all involved with this? Well, they take a normal-looking car and they turn it into kind of a monster.
Yeah.
And the Elantra N has been winning praise from many people, and we've been curious ourselves.
It is quite good.
As it turns out,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's as easy to drive as a Golf R or a GTI while still retaining character and feel. There isn't a dead disconnect. There isn't a rubbery feel to the shifter. But in my mind, this car kind of drives like a BMW.
Well, you're talking about Bierman.
Exactly right.
The chassis person from BMW
Exactly
is now
right.
working for Kia and Hyundai. That makes some sense.
He came in at a crucial moment when N was becoming a true enthusiast brand in the minds of car people, and he set this car on the path.
I think this was his last car before he
Was it?
stepped into his new role.
Makes sense, because I'm
Yeah.
feeling the precision of a BMW
Yes.
while still feeling just distant, just still a bit distant
Okay.
as far as information.
Okay.
But I got in this car and I thought, where have I felt this feeling before? Why is this kind of familiar? Why is it in a front-wheel drive sedan that looks nothing like a BMW? BMW. That's where I felt this feeling before.
You're so right.
Now, 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. I feel like by turning up the length of the warranty, they've turned down the turbo boost because you know this engine can make more power than it does.
That stat you've just listed, this drivetrain, they're using all over the place. It was in the Veloster N that we really like. Of course, that's dead now. It's moved to the Kona N, which is still sold in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's here in the Elantra N. It's in the i30 N that we've driven in Europe that we love that they wish they'd bring here. It's that same drivetrain. The only difference is if you get their dual clutch, their 8-speed dual clutch transmission, which is in-house proprietary 8-speed.
Good
which
job.
is interesting.
Yeah.
They didn't use the ZF. They have their own. What's fascinating about that is if you get that, you get a little more in power. That you have what's called the NGS button. Anyway, not going to say it.
Say it.
Not going to say it.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
It's the
Do
rev
it.
match button here because I'm not going to say it.
Say
That's
it.
my NGS.
Say it.
So, but there you get essentially it's turbo boost. You get a little bit of extra boost. It's over boost to make it 290 and almost 300 pound-feet of torque. Here you don't get that, but you get the manual instead.
The rev match, which is actually really good.
It is good.
And when it's off, though, it's still easy to drive.
Yes.
The position of the pedals, the way the shifter feels, and the inputs, the steering. There's the precision of a BMW while still feeling the weight of a front-wheel drive car. And just, where's the info? It's not all there. There's some, and it's good.
Yeah.
But it just makes it endearing. It's endearing to drive, and Hyundai has definitely created their own flavor.
Yes.
I feel like they drove everybody else's stick shift and took the best parts, like the Gordon Murray School of Design.
Sure.
Drive everybody else's stuff, take only the best parts, and then go build your own. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're the best. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's so fun to use.
Yeah.
You're going to be shifting when you don't need to shift. You're just going to do it. And then once you do, you hear the popcorn?
Oh yeah, the applause.
That's so funny.
It's applauding.
Up or down.
It's really excited about how well you're
Doesn't
driving.
matter.
It's excited about your driving. Yeah.
I can't believe how hard you can throw this car into a corner. And there's just progressive steering. There's no dead spot. It's like, the wheels are always doing something. Whatever I'm doing,
like
they're doing something
12
too.
to 1 ratio. It's just over 2 turns lock to lock.
great.
This is very aggressive as far as the steering ratio is concerned, and it doesn't overwhelm the tires instantaneously. I mean, a good amount of power, a super quick steering ratio. It's like that's the recipe for overwhelming your front tires.
True.
And you can get there, but you got to push hard.
In a sedan, in an Elantra.
Yeah. When Hyundai released the Elantra, did
Elantra?
anybody think there was a super version of the Elantra coming?
No.
Well, the new Hyundai Elantra. It was it's one of their longer running names. Nobody was expecting the high performance Elantras coming soon. Here we are.
I agree. The power is great. It's just fun to drive.
It is.
It's engaging. You're not going to believe that you're in a front-wheel drive car, and then you're going to look in the rearview mirror and forget, like, oh yeah, there's people back there.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids.
Didn't mean to take the corner quite that hard because I forgot about you.
I'm going to have to clean that up later. That's where that's going. You forget until one of them goes,
That just might happen. You're going to forget. This has other seats. There's other people in here with you. They're going to be shocked how
Your
fast
significant other is going to be making a significant amount of noise. You're going to know about them. It's the kids in the back that are either going to fall asleep and then puke, or they're just going to forget.
Or say more. Keep
Hopefully.
it coming.
Train them early. Yeah.
That's what you can do. But to train them early, you have to buy a car that you can afford.
You're right.
This is $34,000, just over.
Yes.
We can't control dealership markups on anything.
True.
All we know is what the manufacturers think how much their cars are worth.
Yeah.
That's all we have to go on. And for $34,000, this is a deal.
There's a lot here for that. Yeah.
Yes. So therefore, this could be the family car. It's just backed off enough. In this color, you get compliments on it, and people will wonder.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah.
Overrun. Popcorn.
You like that so much more than I do. Yeah.
I love it.
I don't need it. I just
Up or
don't need
down?
it. But okay.
It pops up or down. It's
It
usually
pops
just on the downshift.
All the time.
It's so great.
It's very excited about itself and you.
It's just great.
Yeah. It's like, I have a friend.
I want the encouragement. I like it. It's
okay.
like, we're doing this
Constant
together.
applause, yeah.
We're in this together, which is great. But yes, this is your car all the time. Don't get an Accord or a normal Elantra or a Mazda anything. Get this. 34 grand for as much performance as this has. And then when you're in comfort mode and it's just cruising along, you'll just think,
It does
sit
that
in.
well too. Yeah,
Great.
it does. It does.
Just
yeah.
fine with that. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this car. The styling might not be for everyone, which I understand.
Not for me.
Really? You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Really?
I full stop don't like it.
None of it? You don't like any of it?
I think I'm impressed with the fact that they swung for the fences. I also think they missed.
Really? What don't you like? Anything in particular?
The front's awful. The front looks like a Lamborghini Urus, and that's not a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah. The side is interesting because of all the angles that they've done to try to create like body side excitement. That's kind of cool, but it also feels a little too much for me. The wheels are way too much.
Okay.
I don't find this car attractive.
Really?
I think it's flashy looking. Like, look at me, I've got cool styling. I don't think it's attractive.
Okay. All right.
You don't agree, and I understand that. That's fine.
I guess I appreciate all the surface development, and
There's
there's a
tons
lot
of it, yes.
visual interest.
Oh yes.
This car was clearly designed from a side view to my eye because
Mm-hmm.
the front is blunt. It's almost chopped off. There's no plan view. If you look at this car from the very top, usually cars have a lot of plan view there, and this is just like boom, straight across. And they've blacked out all the busy visual stuff going on in the grille, and all the pieces that just make up the front, they're blacked out. So it's very busy, but then we backed it off and just made it black plastic. The color, the body color, is very interesting. I like the surfaces. The problem is all you see is the headlights because it's just black front.
Mm-hmm.
But if you walk around this car, it's not like it's busy for the sake of it. Things wash out and then start again, so they'll resolve and then continue the theme around the car.
I see that.
Everything relates, so whether you like the theme or not, it does relate. For example, the rear door, that shut line goes right through a clean area of surface. There's no visual, there's no body
There's
side.
not a seam
no
there, yeah.
Seam.
Yeah.
Well, you see where it washes out and then starts again, and the door shut line goes right through there, so it doesn't make this jarring, when you open the door, a weird cutout.
Sure.
That was clearly part of meetings. People met.
I think
over
they worked
that.
like crazy over this styling. I think they made a styling that matches the crackle of the exhaust. It's very look at me.
Styling
I did
is
something
crackly.
different. You know, crackly styling. There
That
you go.
is new.
And it's interesting. I just personally don't like it.
Fair enough. And then in the interior, things are the same.
Normal.
It's like they carried themes, so you see relatable shapes that you see on the exterior as well. And even though they've adopted sort of the Mercedes instrument panel here, there is a slight hood, but they've kind of made it their own theme, and you have the kind of a handle here, and it makes it very driver focused here.
Yes.
The steering wheel is very interesting, engaging, and fun to use. I like the interior. I don't think it's going to age poorly. I think it's going to be interesting. It's 34 grand, so you don't have the expectation like, where's my, everything. Hard plastics, a little bit of Alcantara, which is nice. Great back seat room, but my biggest gripe is the seats. As cool as these seats look, and as cool as the lit up N right in the middle of the seats is, they're not supported for lumbar.
You don't like them,
for
really?
Lateral support there is, but the lumbar, I need better long-term. I mean, if you're going to road trip this car, I couldn't do it in these seats.
Interesting.
Don't like them at all.
They don't bother me. So that
Don't like
comes
them.
down to your body type, clearly. Because
Really is.
you and I, being the same height, are different in the torso. And so I actually don't mind them at all. I think they're great.
A question that people are going to ask is when you fold down the rear seats, you are going to discover a rear strut brace. It is painted red, which is cool.
Yes. Extra strut bracing. Well, you'll probably notice it first time when you actually open the trunk
Well,
and you
you'll
go,
open the trunk.
oh, wait.
Yes.
Am I going to be able to fold down the seat?
The answer is yes, you can. You just have to work around it and stick your things through the strut
You have to
tower
be
brace.
using skis so that the strut tower brace is not a problem. Yeah.
Slide the lengths of wood in your rear trunk.
There will be no 4x8
So
sheets
it
of plywood
does
going anywhere in this. Yes.
work. But otherwise, I think this has a lot of personality. I guess it's not for everyone.
The styling isn't, but I think it's really interesting, and I'm excited to drive it.
Interesting, like newborn babies. Like, interesting. Here's my newborn.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pictures of my family. Like, interesting. Clearly.
Something else I appreciate about these seats, sometimes when manufacturers put performance seats in the front half of a car, it ends up sacrificing what's going on in the back seats because there's big performance seats. These are actually shallower seats than the standard seats in the Elantra, so the back seat space got bigger.
There's a
The
lot
leg
back there.
room got more
It's huge,
with the
actually.
performance seats, which I'm actually quite impressed by.
Yeah.
The interior is, you know what, I think it looks really modern and interesting and like, oh my gosh, all my tech must be in here.
You like it?
I think some of the materials, you can tell the price point on some of the materials.
Sure,
But
fine.
I think it's a very impressive interior that you're going to feel like, oh, I got my money's worth, and look at all the tech, and it has all the stuff. I
Yeah,
think
I agree.
that's one of the things that Hyundai and Kia is doing right now anyway, is they're offering you a really good warranty on all the tech you could ask for, but now we've got performance as well, and I killed it because I don't like the clutch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like the clutch take-up. It's really light, and so
It's
finding
very light.
the catch point is harder than it is on some other manual transmissions.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
the stick shift is also very light. I don't have a problem with that. It's actually very precise. I think that feels great. The clutch is like light switch light. It's really hard to feel
Yeah.
any kind of tension with it. So depending upon your feelings of what you like with the clutches may take a little bit of getting used to. But what you tell right away, gosh, this car is so endearing.
Yeah.
It's just so
It has
excitable.
personality.
It's just like, I want to go drive fast. Can we do it again, please?
That exhaust is waiting for you.
Yes.
Even in idle, it's just like, "Arr,
Yes.
let's go do something. It's ready to go, and it's quick.
It's quick, it makes fun noises, and it's just excitable. It feels so little light and lively, and
It
oh my
does,
gosh, I'm
yeah.
excited to drive now.
The
I don't know why
engine-
that's the voice of the Elantra N, but it is. That's the Elantra N's
He
voice.
does voices of pets and
Yes.
animals, so yeah, it's a thing. But you're right, the engine revs freely, it's just got a light character about it, it's ready to go. I appreciate that. It's easy to drive, it's easy to ride in, and the horsepower doesn't sound like it's a lot either. It seems like, really? You stopped at 276? Can't you, like, take a screwdriver?
There's
and-
got to be a dial. Plug into the
What
OBD
happened?
port. Let's get more before lunch.
Yeah, let's
for
reprogram
sure.
that
Yeah.
thing, which maybe people will, but when you drive this thing, think, what is this thing again?
It feels faster than the numbers suggest. And, the 0 to 60 on this car is like the mid to low fives, which in the modern time is like, oh, were we not trying hard? Or some of the cylinders not working? I mean, that feels like a big number in the current
Like your
time.
compression's down in cylinder number 4.
But the truth is, this car feels quick no matter what you're doing.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it does.
the thing I like about it is so very normal, usable. This really nails the kind of dad car conundrum,
Telling you,
or the
family.
mom car conundrum, and that is just I need something I can take big rear-facing child seats, and I've got to take the one that's in kindergarten to the school run, and then I got to go run errands. All the stuff that family requires. You
Yeah.
can do that in here, and you can do it well in here. And then, if you have the option to try to go make the kids puke and run down a back road, you can very well. And it's not like some cars that do everything. When you want them to be a performance car, you're making them be a performance car. You can make a Prius or a minivan be a performance car. You can really work them.
Strangle it into like forcing to do your will.
I can't believe you're going that fast down the back road in the family minivan. That's not this. This is easy and happy and excited to do all of the high performance stuff and to be thrown down a back road, but yet it can do the very mundane commute, errands, family stuff equally as well. And that is rare, because generally when you have both, one or the other really takes over. And you just kind of have to pick as a consumer, which would I prefer? And I think this is one of the better cars I've driven that really equalizes both.
Well, that is manifested in the transmission. Just the fact that you have options, because what if your significant other does not drive manual? You want the manual, but you still want this performance. Good news, DCT. They have options, manual, DCT, but you still can choose this car. They're giving you reasons to buy it, which makes it good for everyone, good for anyone.
And the DCT offers you that little bit of extra power. It offers you a few things that this manual doesn't offer. For example, you can get a sunroof with the DCT. I mean, there are a few more options if that's the person that you are.
Buy it for the pops. Just for the pops.
Do you need affirmation? Do you need applause? Because this car, it's constant. It's constant, like applauding you for, thank you for using the gas. Thank you for not using the gas. Thank you for using the gas in that gear. We haven't used that gear in a while. Let's use this gear. It's so
awesome.
happy. It's so excitable that you are driving it and driving it hard in a manual. It just wants to applaud all the time.
It's thanking you,
yes,
isn't it?
it's constant applause.
Okay, well, you'll just feel good about your purchase then.
You will. Yes.
Only 34 grand.
You've seen the applause light. Here, you're hearing the applause light. That's what's happening here.
Come and get it.
Yep.
All right. I'm braced. Oh, wait. Now I'm braced.
I think that's a terrible brace, actually.
Yeah, it's really not the greatest.
Really, really lame.
It's just a styling element, but still, I can use it to brace. Holy cow!